This is Future Talk.
Future Talk.
Future Talk with Omnia Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. You're listening to Future Talk right here on Pulse 95. This is the one and only place where we bring you the latest in robotics, artificial intelligence, gadgets, and applications. All that you need to know about what's happening in the tech world, in the UAE, and around the world is being brought to you right here on Pulse 95. Big news is happening in the UAE because the UAE government has launched one application that unifies every service that you could possibly think of. So if you're ever wondering where you should go to fulfill a certain service, all you need to do is to download one single app that we're going to be telling you all about in just a few moments. But Apple is also making headlines today because they are looking into blocking apps that don't comply with the new privacy feature that they just launched. So we've always seen Apple be very particular about what applications it allows on its app store whenever we compare it to Android devices, since it's a lot easier to have an app become live on a Play Store device or the Play Store itself on any Android device versus any iPhone. But speaking of weird tech, we have a weird robot to talk about today because one of them has been drawing portraits on the spot. Could we replace our very own artists, the talented artists that have caught the eyes of many, with robots instead? Apple is also making headlines with its brand new Gadget because they have just launched a new over-ear Airpods Max that is available for pre-order right here in the UAE. But in the world of apps, lots is happening as well as WhatsApp introduces the carts for easy shopping. WhatsApp is definitely getting a little bit jealous from Instagram and other social media platforms, so it's also looking to implement a new e-commerce feature, and this one has to do with you simply shopping through the app itself. Lots and lots is in store right here on Future Talk, so keep Pulse 95 locked and we'll be right back.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Your quick roundup of everything that is happening in the tech world in the UAE and around the world. Big news is happening right here in the UAE because the UAE government is currently working on a unified portal and application where residents living on this land will be able to access all the services that are offered by federal entities. Now, we've talked before about an application that is including lots of services right here in the UAE, which is the UAE Pass. A lot of people have it downloaded and a lot of people have been praising on how efficient it has been to complete all of their processes, whether it was renewing your driver's license or even checking if you have any fines. But one of the main focus areas that the UAE is currently working on is basically to consolidate all of their services, unify all of them onto one platform so that customers don't need to worry about where they can get a certain service. All they'll need to do is to click on a single application. And the services that will be offered in this application will include visa and license renewal, paying any of your utility bills, and accessing some private sector services with a single click of a button. A lot of you may be wondering, what is this magical application? Well, it's basically at this point two separate platforms that the UAE is working on merging them all together. And they are called Usrati and Bashir. So they're two in one, but at the same time, each of them is offering different services for different reasons. Now, the hybrid system will work to send notifications to customers whenever their licenses are about to expire. So this is actually one of the benefits of having all of your services embedded within one app, because this way you don't have to keep it on the calendar. You don't have to write down renewed license, renew your mulkiya, renew different parts of your life that you have to constantly and different documents that you have to constantly keep in mind, because now the application will actually remind you whenever one of your documents is about to end and that you have to go ahead and renew it. This system will also be sending a notification to customers asking them if they would like to renew their visas, their passports, licenses, car insurance, and if you go ahead and respond that you do want to go ahead and renew these documents, the document will automatically be renewed because your documents have already been saved on the app. They've already been submitted. Your passport copy, your UAE ID, all of this information will be saved on the application. So to renew anything, it will not take as long as it did before. Now, residents will also be getting an SMS or a notification from the application to go ahead and pay their electricity or water bills. And instead of having to go ahead and include all of your information, all you'll have to do is reply back to the SMS with a yes, and your bills will automatically get paid because your credit card information are also embedded within this application. This portal will not only offer government services, but it's also going to be allowing the private sector entities like insurance companies or car registration firms to go ahead and get on board to offer those one-click services. Now, the two new platforms that I've mentioned earlier, Usrati and Bashir, are new models of innovative government services. So the Usrati platform actually includes a bundle of 12 services under its app from 10 different government entities. So it deals with marriage, family cohesion, it promotes the concepts of sound parenting and childcare. And the Bashir platform actually provides 14 services by 18 federal and local government entities. So we're looking at a digital experience that you'll be able to enjoy as you go ahead to set up a business, as you want to go ahead and obtain a business license, or even, as we've mentioned, if you want to renew any documents that you have pending at the moment. So we're definitely excited and we'll keep you up to date once this application has been finalized. As of right now, there are two separate platforms that you can go ahead and check out. But let's move on to talk a little bit about what Apple has been doing to maintain users' privacy, but more exactly, to make sure that apps are not spying on us as much as they like to do. Because Apple is planning to block any apps that don't comply with its new privacy feature. The feature that Apple has launched recently is the app tracking transparency. And even though it was initially planned to debut earlier this year, it was delayed, but this delay definitely came in place because now the feature is much more efficient and it can catch any application that will threaten your privacy. Now, removing the applications from the widely used App Store if they don't comply with the upcoming private feature will allow every user to go ahead and block advertisers from tracking them across different applications. And we all know how much advertisers love our data because this basically gives them a leeway to find out exactly what you need and how they can deliver it to you through their ads. Now, the new feature that Apple is working on is the app tracking transparency. And this specific feature has definitely given a lot of app developers more time to make changes to their own apps so that they can make sure that once they release this app, it complies with every privacy concern that Apple has launched with this feature. A lot of tech companies and advertisers like Facebook have criticized this change because they're worried that small developers, small app inventors may find it difficult to get their applications out there. And especially when it comes to gaming companies, they have definitely launched a lot of apps that may or may not comply with privacy concerns simply because they want people to start working on this app, they want people to start using it, and they want to gain some money. But software engineering at Apple is getting a lot more complicated, and early next year, every application on the App Store that wants to be published will have to obtain every user's explicit permission. So developers who fail to meet this standard will have their apps taken down from the App Store for good. We've seen this earlier this year with Fortnite. It was actually banned in many countries, and the reason behind that is, again, privacy concern. This new feature will require a pop-up notification saying that the app would like permission to track you across apps and websites that are owned by other companies. And as a user, you have an option to say yes and to say no. But will we actually go ahead and take a look at this notification once it pops up on our phone? That's definitely a very important question because many people will blindly say yes, not knowing what this yes holds. Now, with invasive tracking, it's definitely not going to be welcoming any transparency and customer choice, but this is exactly why Apple has tightened all of its orders. And Facebook and Google are the largest among thousands of companies that track online customers to pick up on their habits and interests and go ahead and serve them any relevant ads. Apple itself was actually under fire last month because they were under fire for different complaints about data protection that watchdogs in Germany and Spain were alleging that they had a lot of online tracking tools that were breaching the European law. But Apple rebutted the charge and said that it was factually inaccurate. It is definitely coming back with this new move and the feature app tracking transparency. Let us know. Our text lines are open. 4215 Duer Tisalat. Do you go ahead and check what every application tracks on your device? We've had many episodes with cybersecurity experts telling us a lot about how important it is to make sure that every app that we are downloading, we know exactly what is it using. Does it have access to our cameras? Does it have access to our photo log? And is there a reason for it to have access to the different features on our phones? So if you've missed out on any of those episodes, you can definitely check them out on SoundCloud under the name Future Talk 95. Coming up, we still have lots and lots to share with you right here on Future Talk. So keep Pulse 95 locked and we'll be right back.
Check this out. Check this out. Pulse 95.
Artists are not worried about being replaced by robots, but the question is, should they be? Because I'm coming to you today with a scenario that might just threaten the presence of every artist. Imagine that you're on a street in Europe getting your portrait done on the go. A lot of us love Europe for this reason because you have artists expressing themselves in every way possible. Except today, you're not looking at a human artist and you're not looking at one artist at a time. You're looking at three who are working to create your portrait in the shortest time possible. And mind you, none of them are human. Well, I know it sounds like a fiction story, but welcome to the future of art, because this is exactly what we're looking at within the next few years. 3 webcams and 3 robotic arms have started off to create a masterpiece from 3 different angles, allowing the portrait to be done in monumental time. And this is not something that's, going to be happening down the line. This is something that is currently being portrayed actually at the GITEX Technology Week that is being showcased right here in the UAE, and it actually ends tomorrow. So if you want to go ahead and check it out, you should go within today or tomorrow. Now, when looking at this concept of robots creating art, we're looking at whimsical robots that have to convince us that humans are not as good as they can be when it comes to drawing portraits. And a lot of the times we've seen different articles about the future of work headlined, robots are on for your job is being threatened. But the question is, no matter how much our jobs can be automated, when it comes to art, can we replicate creativity? Can we have a robot be able to express the human sense of fashion, of writing, of art? And in this case, the question might just be, are we ready to accept it? Because this installation that was drawn by those 3 robots at the GITEX Technology Week have been showcased for the very first time in the region, and a lot of visitors have actually been getting free complimentary portraits just so that they can give those robots a chance to go ahead and express themselves. Now, a lot of us may be wondering, where are these robots coming from? Who has invented them? Well, they are the brainchild of a Brussels-based artist named Patrick Tresset, who is known for his performative installations using robotic agents as stylized actors. He is also known for exploring the drawing practice using robots and computational systems. Not every day do you hear of an artist using robots to express himself instead of a paintbrush and a set of paint. What he is trying to focus on is exploring the human traits and experiences, but having robots draw them instead. Now, this experience that was offered by the artist is quite surreal. And the subject of the portrait is the robotic artist, which has definitely been catching the eyes of many people as they were passing by him. What's also interesting about him is how fast he could be, because a robot does not need as much time as a human being to go ahead and create a portrait of you. All he'll need is to capture a picture of your face and give him empty sheets of paper. The 3 robotic arms will start drawing in no time. And what's interesting about it is you don't even need to have an external camera, because these robots have webcams embedded within them. So all they'll have to do is look at you with their eyes and they'll capture the image seamlessly. Now, what's also a nice feature about such robots is that they can also watch you as you are in your, let's say, natural habitat. So they'll go ahead and watch how your facial features come to life. They'll watch how you communicate with other people. So they may even be able to transform the portrait and make it much more alive than what a human being artist would do. Because a lot of the times with human beings, you're always asked to sit still and just keep looking to the distance so that they can go ahead and capture the moment just like they would normally. But with a robot, you're getting a much more live image at the same time, because they can capture exactly how you're interacting with those around you, how your eyes glisten when you're having conversation, how your frown looks like, how your smile looks like, all at the same time. Now, the webcams would keep looking at you even if you're not looking at them. So the drawing machines are all based in the eyes and the artificial mind that will make sure that the task gets done. Now, the only sad part about this robot is that once they're done with your portrait, you can't necessarily take the portrait home, because you'll have to be able to ask for it politely and at the same time make sure that the robots and the artists behind them will allow you to have this picture taken home. If not, they'll have to go ahead and portray it for other customers to be able to pick it up at the same time. The portraits for now are only being added to the wall at the stall, but in the future, they're looking at having every person be able to take their portrait back home, and also creating a monumental artwork, which is called the collection. So this will be able to include more than 40,000 drawings, so you can go ahead and get yourself a piece of art that is not drawn by a human, but rather by a robot. I want to hear from all of you guys. Do you believe that AI can create real art? And do you believe that AI could replicate human creativity? In my opinion, I don't think robots have a chance, even though I do think it's a nice experiment to get to witness, but I don't ever believe that creativity could be replaced by robots, especially because creativity, there's no limits for it and there's no box to put it in. So it's not like an algorithm that you can go ahead and teach a robot how to do. A robot may be able to draw portraits of you simply because they are copying exactly how your features look like. But can they go ahead and create art from scratch? That's definitely a question that only the future could answer for us. Let me know your thoughts. 4215 door Itisalat or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. But coming up, we still have lots and lots in store for you right here on Future Talk, because we're going to be talking about Apple's brand new over-ear Airpods Max that have become available right here in the UAE.
Gadget of the day.
New tech you might want to play with.
Pulse 95.
It honestly feels like every month we're talking about a brand new Apple product, and it's surprising because I think Apple has never launched this many products in a single year as much as the year of 2020. So even though COVID has definitely slowed a lot of us down, that definitely did not happen to Apple. Some events were delayed, but not slowing down in terms of new ideas and new products. But Apple definitely wanted to end this year with a bang, because they are making it loud and clear that this is the last product they are launching. But by far, this is the most interesting one, because it is an over-ear Airpods Max that is currently available for ordering right here in the UAE. This is the first time Apple has ever launched a headset form of AirPods. And the iPhone maker did announce that this is the first ever over-ear headphones that they are cultivating after an eventful 12 months in which it not just launched the most number of products ever in a single year, but also the most diverse whenever we're looking at it in terms of performance and in terms of tweaks that they've done so that they can make sure that they are the best in the industry. Now, these premium wireless audio devices come at a hefty price. They are priced at about 2,399 dirhams, which and this product was actually speculated back in 2018. But as we know, Apple loves its secrecy, so it did not launch it or announce it until the year 2020. Now, the previous AirPods were a very popular choice among many customers. Probably every other person you meet has a pair of AirPods in their ears. But this one is not going to be as hidden as AirPods are, because it's definitely showcased. It's pretty bulky, I would say, but also it has a very sleek design. It's the normal white sleek design that we've known Apple always for, but this time they're also going to be giving us a much better audio quality, because the previous AirPods, even though they are wireless and they have great audio tech, they're not as noise cancelling as these headphones will be. So Apple will definitely be getting out another form of AirPods that are as noise cancelling as these are. But for now, we are going to have to be settling with those AirPods Air over-ear AirPods Max. And even though it's going to be launched officially on the 14th of December, you can pre-order them from today on Apple's websites. They come in different colors. There's also that sleek space gray that a lot of people love. They come in a beautiful reddish pinkish color. The ear sets will be pink, but the top of the headphones will be red. They also come in a pretty blue, I would say. It's like a space baby blue color, another green one for all those who love the color green. It's a grassy green, so that's definitely going to be an interesting one. But the best part about it, as I've mentioned, is the noise cancelling feature. It also produces sound with ultra low distortion, and it comes across different audio ranges. So you're getting very deep, rich bass, but at the same time very crisp, clean highs. So you're getting the best clarity when it comes to headphones. Also, they have distortionless playback, which basically means that high-end floor-standing speakers will not be compared to these headphones. They are going to be beating every headphone on the market. The latest AirPods Pro already come with an adaptive equalizer, active noise cancellation, transparency mode, and also Apple's very own H1 chip. But the AirPods Max have an advanced software. So basically, we're looking at computational audio that has a breakthrough listening experience, because it comes with 10 audio cores that are capable of processing 9 billion operations per second. So you're looking at a very, very sleek design, and it honestly complements the price because it's not coming at a cheap price. The spatial audio feature in particular also it blends in the features of the AirPods Max and the feature of the iPhones and iPads that track the motion of the user's head and the device. So it can actually compare the motion data, remap the sound field so it stays anchored to the device even as your head moves. So you don't have to worry about adjusting those headphones, because the way your head moves, they'll be able to adapt to it and produce audio quality no matter how it moves. It's also going to be featuring an Apple-designed 40mm dynamic driver that promises to belt out deep bass, accurate mid-ranges, and clean high-frequency extensions so every musical note can be heard. As with previous AirPods, the Max version also allows automatic switching between Apple devices, audio sharing between two sets of AirPods, and of course, the one and only Siri functionality. The company also promises with great battery life. We're looking at 20 hours, and it has a smart case that once you put it in, it will have ultra low power that will preserve the battery, so you can still go ahead and make sure that the battery is not running out as quickly as possible. You can go ahead and start pre-ordering these headphones starting from today, but they will begin shipping on the 15th of December. Would you purchase them? That's the question. They come at a hefty price of, as I've mentioned, 2,399 dirham. But as we know, Apple's products are an investment, and they are ones that you will not have to be replacing every single year. Our text lines are open for 215 do Ittisalat or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Coming up, we're talking all about WhatsApp entering the e-commerce because they are introducing carts for easy shopping.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
How often do you place an order on WhatsApp instead of calling in a certain bakery or a shopping mall, a certain outlet to buy clothes? You go ahead and just simply order it over WhatsApp. Well, if you are a WhatsApp shopper, WhatsApp is launching one more feature that might lure you in to their shopping experience, because they are introducing the shopping carts, and these carts will make shopping become much easier and will even give you a catalog that you can go ahead and browse, select the different products that you want to go ahead and purchase, and simply check out like you would with a usual and a normal online store website. Now, this is definitely going to make buying and selling products become much more easier. With carts, you can go ahead and browse the catalog and send the order to the business owner in a single message. This will make it simpler for businesses also to go ahead and keep track of any order inquiries, any requests from certain customers, and also that it will help them close the sales. Globally, more than 175 million people message a WhatsApp business account every single day. So if you think you order too much off of WhatsApp, trust me, you are not the only one. And more than 3 million people in India alone go ahead and view the business catalog every single month. So this feature of using carts will make things a lot easier, because all you'll have to do is find the items that you want through a catalog that will be available on any WhatsApp business account. You'll tap on the items and click Add to Cart. Once your cart is complete, instead of going ahead and checking out, you'll have to go ahead and send your cart as a message to that business. Now, carts are going live around the world today, just in time for the holiday season. But if you can't find it yet on your WhatsApp business account, or as a customer, if you can't find the WhatsApp business account having the carts option, don't worry, it will come in time. It's just rolling out slowly in different countries based on which country adopts this feature first. Carts are great whenever we're looking at messaging businesses, because typically you would like to go ahead and buy multiple items at the same time, but that makes it a lot harder if you're messaging the business to place every order separately or to discuss every item on its own. Let's say with a clothing store. And even when we're talking about a restaurant, let's say you want to order a batch of cupcakes and 2 small cakes. You can't go ahead and select all of them at the same time. You'll have to message the owner about every single one, explaining exactly how you want things to be. But with this new feature, all you'll have to do is, if you have any comments about how you want the cake to be, what flavors do you want the cupcake, you'll add them in the notes just like you would with any food ordering app. The need for digital tools to shop has definitely increased during the pandemic, and a lot of people have actually shifted completely from buying from physical stores to buying online. I, for one, definitely have seen that with my clothes shopping habits. I will much more would rather go ahead and shop online than shop in stores. But also, when it comes to local restaurants, their online business have definitely been booming, because a lot of people did choose to go ahead and dine at home rather than dine in the restaurant during the coronavirus pandemic, and that habit just stuck with them even after lockdown was over. Let us know, how often do you find yourself buying online through a WhatsApp business account? And would you actually prefer using the carts feature over checking out normally from an online website? Our text lines are open for 215 Door Itisalat or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Future Talk is coming to an end, but you can catch us again, same time, same place, from 2 to 3 p.m. tomorrow. Coming up in just a few moments is the halftime show with Omar Al-Douri. He's going to be bringing you the latest on what is happening in the sports world. Fitness, physical fitness, as well as emotional health. It's going to be lined up on today's show. He's talking all about how you can go ahead and fight COVID-19 with great spirits. So make sure you tune into the show, since it is a topic that a lot of people can relate to. Whether you're facing coronavirus or a loved one, you can definitely find out a few tips on how you can support your loved one. We will catch you again, same time, same place tomorrow. Stay blessed, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.